Raj, unfortunately, it is the end of an era. Your boy, as you mentioned in the open, old Saint Nick Saban, the head coach at Alabama, six national titles there, seven for his career, one at LSU. The GOAT, in my opinion, of college football coaching has hung it up. Kalen DeBoer, who actually coached at Washington, made it to the national championship this year, helped turn that franchise around or that program around, will be taking over. Raj, if you would love to give the people a roll tide before you get into your soliloquy, the floor is yours.
One last time for old Saint Nick. Roll Tide. Oh yes, roll tide. It is over. You know, it's been a fun ride. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this brother Nick Saban, man, has been one of the greatest coaches in college football history, and it's going to be really, really bad, and it really sucks that he's going to be, retiring. But it is his time to go. It is time for some new, fresh blood. I understand the last national championship we won was in 2020, and we haven't gotten the job done in the last 4 years. So, but you know what, man? He had a great run with Alabama. He put the college team on his back. He recruited some of the greatest players. Tua being one of them. Although he's not really playing really well in the NFL, but in college he was great. Jalen Hurts, who's playing right now, is about to get eliminated. At one point, he was cool too, and a plethora of other guys. You know what I'm saying, for the university. But it's just time, man. It does suck that he's leaving, but it's just time. And I understand, not every hero can go out with a national championship or just a championship in general. But sometimes you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. And I mean, he did what he was supposed to do in college, man. He won 7 national championships. I mean, he got 11 SEC championships with him as well. So it is what it is, man. It sucks though, like I said before, because I like to troll D a lot, especially when it comes to Alabama. But yeah, man, it is what it is, and he'll be missed. He'll definitely be missed, and I'm pretty sure it's going to take Alabama a good while before they get back to the good graces of being great, but being great again. But yeah, man, it's time.
Pravante, from the outside looking in as a non-Alabama fan, what do you think about the retirement? And Kalen DeBoer, 49 years old, kind of the hot young candidate, and he was out on the first plane smoking right to Alabama with all that money they're going to have waiting for him, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nick Saban, and again, outside looking in, I was not Alabama fan in no way, shape, or form. I actually dislike Alabama a lot. And again, it's probably what most of Alabama, probably more so the fans, because fans like that are very much front runners. They are the same fans that like the Yankees, the Duke, Lakers. A lot of Dre. It reminds me of Dre, which is probably why I dislike them even more. But I cannot lie. Um, Nick Saban was a legend. Is a legend and one of the best, if not the best. I'll say he's the best college football player. I mean, college football coach, um, in quite some time, especially obviously in recent memory. But y'all know what did him in? NIL.
Mm.
That's what did Nick Saban in. He used to run the show his way, and this NIL deals, all this NIL money has transferred power to the young amateurs playing football. And it's hard to keep a team for 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? Because with the NIL deals and the transfer portal, it's like free agency for college football. And it's hard. It was hard for Nick Saban to adapt to that. And college football head coaches and staff, they work all year round anyway. So, I think he just like, okay, hey, listen, I think this is about it. I've done all I can do. He has an outstanding resume. that can go up against any coach in any sport. So, I'm not going to say he'll be missed, because I'm not going to miss him. But he was great, and it was fun hating on Alabama while he was the head coach. Now I can move on to somebody else, because Alabama, like Rod said, it's going to take a minute for them to get back to glory, because they lost a legend, and also new guy, and he's complete. He's from Washington, right?
Yes, Washington head coach, 49 years of age. So it'll be interesting to see. And there was already a lot of transfers too, Gravante, like you mentioned, NIL transfer portal. So
It's
it'll be
tough.
intriguing to see how the roster shakes out.
Nick Saban is used to doing things his way, and him being in charge, him being, the head honcho and all that. And this NIL deal, the transfer portal, has jacked Nick Saban up. The fact that he made the college football playoffs this year was crazy enough. But I felt like he thought this was probably the best I could do with what all of what's going on. And putting that time and effort into this game is crazy. And I think Nick Saban's called it quits. Still surprising, but nonetheless, he is a legend. He will not be missed. And it was fun. It was fun watching and hating on Alabama while he was the head coach. Peace.
Damn
Oh,
it, he will be missed. You put some
what did D
respect.
call him? What did D call him? Oh, slick,
Old slick Saban. That's what
oh,
we call
slick
him.
saving. Peace out, brother.
I think Alabama will still be pretty good, just to kind of hang on this for a second. They got the quarterback still. Milroe isn't going nowhere. I think he's going to be potentially a guy that's going to get drafted next year. I do think they're going to reload. They got money. And the SEC, what do they play in the SEC West? Or they're in the East? Whatever SEC division they're in, they win it every year, even when they're having a down year. They always end up playing Georgia in the conference championship game.
Yep.
So we know Georgia's going to be there with Kirby Smart, who actually, there was rumors he might go back, but he's not leaving Georgia. Think about guys like Lane Kiffin that Nick Saban bought up. Like I said, Kirby Smart. Mike Loxley, Maryland head coach, was on his staff as well. So just some guys that you think about that he has groomed and really helped in his coaching game. The Nick Saban tree of coaching is very, 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 very fluid, and it's in college football and some of the biggest powerhouses that we know now. So I don't think Alabama will be down. I do think that they will, if anything, reload. They're like the Steelers, the Ravens, teams like that. They don't rebuild, they reload. So we'll see what happens with them. But Nick Saban, we will miss you. 72 years of age. He was making $11.2 million a year. I just thought that was very interesting when I looked that up. But I still think they're going to win the SEC, whatever conference they're in now, especially with all this realignment. They're still the team to beat in that division. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Cravante, let's go to you, brother, because we had some big news this past week. We're gonna start with the Commanders, as we see the NFC East just burn to the ground, and I know you love it. Washington Commanders have their GM, Adam Peters, worked with the San Francisco 49ers, 44 years of age, spent the last 3 seasons as John Lynch's right-hand man, working for the San Francisco 49ers. They drafted a lot of key playmakers like Brock Purdy, acquired Christian McCaffrey, and before his promotion to assistant GM, he spent 2017 through 2020 as the team's vice president of player personnel. And the 49ers have been to 3 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl during his time with the franchise. He's good friends with Bob Myers, so that was a nice little connection there. So you see what they did with bringing in Bob Myers and Rick Spielman, getting guys they know who have success. You get another former 49ers great working under John Lynch. You've seen what they do with their players, drafting, development, trades, a lot of money to spend in Washington, high draft capital. Cravante, how you feeling today? You got to be excited, man. And like you said, you can interview your head coach a week from today after the divisional round.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely excited. For once, guys, for once, I could legit say I'm excited for this offseason, not dragging, not stumbling to the offseason or dragging out of the offseason. I legit feel good. The cancer that is Daniel Snyder is gone. Josh Harris, Matt Johnson, and them. Um, it looks like we're finally doing it the right way. We're getting some guys that know football, that are competent in the front office to run the show. And I believe Adam Peters, I said something about Ian Cunningham before, and it was between Adam Peters and Ian Cunningham. But I just had a feeling they was going to lean Adam Peters. He was not my number one guy, and Ian Cunningham was my number two. So how the offseason is going, things are working out how I personally, as a fan, would like it to work out. But listen, the only thing that I will thumbs down for Adam Peters and the 49ers picking from the 49ers tree is that goofy Trey Lance trade. That was the only thing in recent memory that was very, very, very goofy. But as far as scouting and evaluating talent, the brother Adam Peters is him and that staff and that front office, they hit way more often than they don't. And then they get their guys in free agency too. And they do really well with like doing deals and things like that. So, and of course, Adam Peters, I think all the guys who really feel like that they're that guy, they want to have an opportunity to do it themselves, because it's kind of like Airbnb in Kansas City. Even though we're talking about on the coaching staff, like Andy Reid always gonna get the credit. With the 49ers, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan is always gonna get the credit. So he gets to come to Washington, which is a blank slate, number 2 overall pick, all the cap space in the world, and he gets to mold this franchise how he sees fit, moving forward. So it's very, very exciting for Commanders, for Washington football team, Commanders, Redskins, whatever the hell you want to call it right now. It's our future is looking very much bright, and I'm excited for what's next. I think my front runner is Ben Johnson. Shout out to Bobby Slowick, Byron, what he doing down there with CJ Stroud. I love to see it. I think it's number 2. We actually did a virtual interview with y'all guy, McDonald. During y'all, because y'all got the bye week and all. He had a little free time, you know what I'm saying? So we did a virtual interview with him, but that just gives the vibes that they're probably not going that direction. And reports are saying like, Ben Johnson is going to be the guy. So I'm looking forward for just waiting for the Lions to come on, take this L, baby, and lose their offensive coordinator so we can move forward. But yes, it's very, very exciting. And on top of all that, it's always a good week when the Cowboys get smashed. It's always a good week, man. Jordan Love. Hey, Raj. Jordan Love, baby. I tell you, he wasn't showing no love in Dallas, though. Let me tell you. And of course, the Eagles are laying the absolute biggest egg after the first 12 weeks being 10-1 and then finishing down the stretch 1-5. I had no faith that they were going to win this game. None whatsoever. I thought what was going to happen to the Eagles was way more likely than what happened to the Cowboys.